Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Merry Christmas, one and all. It is an absolute pleasure to see you tonight. I must admit, I'm delighted to be here. I am. I have a huge smile on my face. As Declan has put it, can't wait to see my smile tonight. Well, we're going to be smiling for the next half an hour. We're going to be happy for the next half an hour. If I'm not doing a drunk stream, then I'll be disappointed. Well, I wouldn't call it a drunk stream. Listen, I've had 3 pints and a couple of Jack Daniels and a couple of shots. And anyway, put it this way: I've had a couple of drinks. I'm not drunk. I would say I'm lightly buzzed, and I think more of it has been caused by the atmosphere of the day rather than the alcohol that has been consumed. I hope you can forgive me. It's Christmas time, and I was actually going to put this off for the day. I wasn't going to do any form of content. I got in a couple of hours ago. I had my doner, chips and cheese. You know, I sat down the stair and I decided to myself, you know, I'll go up the stair. I'll do a video. I'll get a video done. I'll do my match reaction as usual. And then I decided, nope, do you know what? I'm absolutely knackered. I'm shafted. I can't be bothered. I've had my doner, chips and cheese. It's time for my bed. And then last minute, just before I went to change into my jammies, I thought to myself, you know what? Let's go and do a live stream. Let's do a live stream. Let's catch up. Let's talk, because I've missed you guys. I've missed you over this Christmas period. And even though I thought a couple of days off might have been merited, it got to me a wee bit. You know, I don't like taking 2 days off in a row. And we didn't do anything yesterday on the channel. So today we're back. We're here. We're time to do our match reaction. And it is an absolute pleasure to see every single one of you. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. Celtic 4, Motherwell 0, St Mirren 2, Rangers 1. Here's a wee reminder of how things are at the minute. Hold on. I've got a visual aid for you. There you go. There's a reminder. That's the league table there, by the way. Celtic, top of the league by 12 points. 12. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been getting comments about how the title race was back on and how Rangers were back. That's them away again. Yep. There's your league table. Ladies and gentlemen, just drink it in. Drink it in. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Yeah, I've got a lot of comments flooding through and I want to get to every single one of them. I'll try and get to as many as I can as the stream goes on. The whole initial part of this stream is supposed to be a match reaction. I suppose we should talk a wee bit about today's game before I get into the questions and answers that you may have. Celtic 4, Motherwell 0. I thought it was a good game today at Celtic Park. Second half, a lot better than the first half. There's a huge conversation that's came again from yet another penalty decision at Celtic Park this afternoon. I'm not going to really get dragged into all of that. I can't really be bothered addressing what I feel is a pointless scenario, considering it isn't exactly what decided the game today, this afternoon at Celtic Park. It was only a small matter within the game of a 4-0 win for Celtic. But the second half, brilliant. First half, we were kind of building towards it. Arne Engels had a good performance. The rest of the team all chipped in. Substitutions were good. Listen, I thought it was just a generic game at Celtic Park today where we done what we had to do. We went out there and we won the game. I don't think there's all that much to talk about in terms of intricacies. You know, it's what you expect Celtic to do against the likes of Motherwell. And I mean that with all due respect. Motherwell, a decent enough team. They're sitting in the top half this season. They're having a sort of up and down campaign, but mostly up, I would say. And do present that sort of challenge. Always a physical side to come up against. But at Celtic Park, you should be putting away your opponents. Doesn't matter if it's Rangers, if it's St Johnstone, top of the league, bottom of the league. Doesn't matter. You should be winning all of your home games. And Celtic done that quite convincingly this afternoon, I would say. We looked good. We really turned it on in the second half. I thought some of the football we played at times deserved more goals. Ultimately, it's everything that I would expect Celtic to do in a game at Celtic Park. And it gives us a lot of confidence heading into Sunday. Sunday then leads into Thursday. We've got a big week coming up here at Celtic with yet another derby game. a lot to unpack, a lot to talk about, but generally I'm quite happy with what I've seen. I think the biggest takeaway from the game for me today was how good Arne Engels was. I really enjoyed watching him today. Somebody who has come under a lot of criticism since coming through the door at Celtic for that record-breaking price. You know, £11 million is a lot of money to spend on a player, and he's been criticised recently, but I liked what he done today. I seen a player that I've not doubted at any point. You know, he's had his moments where he's not maybe looked as good as we'd like him to be, but generally I really liked what I seen of him today. I thought he was the beating heart of the Celtic team. I thought what was lacking most for Celtic today was the quality in the final third. I thought that everything that we'd done, and this maybe only lasts up until maybe sort of the 55th, 60th minute when we finally found that first goal from open play through Dyson Maeda. But I think that what I seen from a Celtic team was a side who were building well up until the final third, and then maybe just struggling in there. Yang, a player who I think is still struggling to comprehend that he's a football player, and Maeda, who maybe wasn't on his best until he found his goal, and Adamida, who was certainly trying. I actually thought he was okay today, to be fair, despite finding any goals. But I thought there was a Celtic side that looked very good moving into that sort of final third, and then just struggled to get it clicking. And maybe that's a result of confidence in recent games. Maybe that isn't an issue that solely comes from today's performance, and maybe it's one that spans from the past few, and maybe a lack of confidence in there. But I thought that we played well, and listen, to be winning 4-0 at Celtic Park is I don't want to say the bare minimum, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to put that sort of disrespect on the opposition, and I don't want to be giving that sort of arrogance across to Celtic. But at this time where Celtic are doing so well, we were undefeated in a Scottish Premiership season, you are expecting to be winning these games, and it is sort of the bare minimum for the supporters who are there at the ground. I'm happy. I want to just dedicate most of this stream to getting your points in today's game, your points in today as a fixture in general in the Scottish Premiership. Of course, Rangers losing to St Mirren. The SFA will, of course, be held accountable for the penalty kick. Listen, before I get into the questions that you guys might have for me this afternoon or this evening, this afternoon. God, I'm not that drunk, I swear. It might seem it. I've just said this afternoon, and you might think that I am absolutely battered. Sorry, I just received a text message there that was really... I just got a really random text message and I wasn't expecting it, so apologies. But before I get to your questions, I just want to address that whole penalty situation, which has brought up conversation. Was it a dive? Was Yang at it? Listen, there was contact on the player. The player was brought down in the box after getting first initial contact with the ball. It is a penalty kick. Whether you think the contact or soft is not is out of the question. It doesn't matter. It is a penalty kick, and that's it. But we are now at a point in time where everything that will happen for Celtic will be put under a microscope. From here on out to the end of the season, we're going to have to listen to Rangers supporters telling us that every decision has been given to us through this sustained pattern of assistance, they're calling it, you know. The SPA, the sustained pattern of assistance. The penalty this afternoon was never a penalty according to them. It was apparently a dive. That's what it's going to be from now on. And St Mirren were given a penalty this afternoon. I'm very glad that the penalty that was given to St Mirren this afternoon or this evening was through a non-deniable excuse for a penalty. You couldn't even put it up for dispute. It was Jack Butland, through sheer stupidity, giving away such a silly foul in the box. Otherwise, though, we're going to just have to get used to it. It is just going to be the script for things from now on, from here until the end of the season. Should Celtic win a double or treble, it is going to be... it's going to be a double or treble that will be stained by illegitimacy and controversy and overall corruption. But listen, we'll deal with it as it comes. I'm no caring. Celtic are putting all of their efforts and their concentration onto what's happening on the park, and maybe that's the reason that one side finds themselves 12 points clear of the other right now. It's for a conversation for another day. We'll probably touch over it at some point, but Celtic's result was fantastic. Their performance, I thought, was good enough, and that's that. So yeah, let's get your questions on today's game. Let's try and keep it mostly focused on Celtic's game today. Don't worry, I will cover anything else that you want me to. And before I do start going into it, I just want to say one more time, because I didn't get to say it yesterday. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so very much for the support throughout the year, throughout 2024. We still have another week to go. I'm going to be here every day of the week. I'll be here tomorrow for a video. I'll be here Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tomorrow is Friday. I'll be here Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'll be here all the way through until the derby. There's going to be content every day, but I hope that you've all had a lovely and blessed Christmas, each and every single one of you and your families. I couldn't appreciate you more, and I wish that I could do more to show that rather than just saying it. To be quite honest, if I was a millionaire, I would do whatever I could to thank every single one of you. But sadly, I'm not, and alas, here we are. But Merry Christmas. I hope you've had an amazing festive period. I hope you've enjoyed Boxing Day this afternoon. It's a pleasure to spend it with you at this late hour. So let's talk about things. Let's get your questions about today's game this afternoon. And Celtic obviously going into a very busy period now where they need to get the results and they need to, ultimately just keep this train going, this train of confidence, this train of success. It's all about it. Buy us all a pint if we win the treble. Do you know what? That's a very interesting point, Aidan. I would love to buy every single one of you a pint. I have 47,000 subscribers. Just the average price of a pint now is about £4 in this city. Hold on, let me do a wee bit of maths here. If I go 4 times 40, let's go 47,000. If we win the treble, how much is that? That's £188,000. I wish I could, Aidan. I wish that I could. Sadly, I don't think so. Thank you to the Deck Room for the donation. Merry Christmas, Ryan. What a great Boxing Day. What a great Boxing Day indeed. And thank you for the donation, Deck Room. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Lewis saying, I thought that Arne Engels was great today. That's 5 goals and 7 assists for him now. Not too bad for someone who's getting Palmer level of hate at times. And I agree with this. I've been a strong backer of Arne Engels from the minute that he came through the door to where we stand right now, through the good and the bad, through some of his more questionable performances. He's a player who I truly and firmly believe that next season we'll see the absolute best of when he has a full pre-season under his belt, once he's worked with the manager and the rest of the squad for a year, and once there can be more trust installed upon him. I think that Brendan Rodgers is doing a really good job at the minute of managing his minutes and maybe trying to ease some of the expectation on him. You can take it back to a couple of the games in recent weeks where he's came on maybe with 5 minutes to go, and I think that's maybe eased some pressure from him. It's took him off the pitch for a couple of games and relieved him of that stress. I think it's maybe done him the world of good. And what I would say on top of that is I just think that, we need to be patient with him. It's not going to be an overnight success for Arne Engels, and if you expect it to be an overnight success for him, if you expect it to be that easy for him, then generally you're way off on it. It's not the way it works. I know £11 million might make you think that, but it's just not how it happens. I thought he played really well today. Of course, it's maybe not the game where you can fully judge a player on when you're expected to win these games with sort of ease, but I'm looking forward to seeing where the rest of the season goes for him now. And I'm a big backer of him, and his numbers are great. From when you think about how deep he's had to play in the centre mid, Lewis, I think you make a good point about the 5 goals and 7 assists. Where they've came from in the area of the pitch that he's playing and the role that he's playing. I'm a big fan of him. Thought today was good, and hopefully he starts to win more fans over. Thank you to 49er Scotland for becoming a new member on the Rival Minute channel. Thank you, mate. It's nice to have you. Welcome to the club. If you want to become a channel member, you know what to do. Top link in the description. It'll take you right there. As a Philadelphia Eagles man, I must say commiserations to the 49ers. I must say. Maybe next year. What happened to the 49ers this year? What happened to them? From Super Bowl to their scants. It's not went the right way, has it? Let's get more questions. Let's get more of your points surrounding today's game. Do I think that is it for Yang now? Didn't take his chance today. I think with every game that he plays, he comes closer to putting the final nail in. If it's not already there for me, he's simply not good enough. And I don't like being that. I don't like saying that about any Celtic player. I don't take pride in it. I don't take joy in it. I'd certainly take no joy in it. I want every Celtic player to succeed, and I would love Yang to succeed. But a lot of what he done today had me turning around to Kieran at the game and going, he's not a football player. And, yeah. I don't know. I think that could be it. Paul, hello. Good to see you, my man. Saying, enjoyable day of football, that. I didn't drink pints, so I'll take a double Jack and Coke. Cheers, Ryan. Well, I had a couple of double Jacks earlier on. Just truth be told with you, so I'll get one. Paul, if you ever bump into me, make sure and let me know and I'll get you one. Aaron, when was the last time we had a midfield this strong? Genuinely, yeah. Listen, we're stacked in the midfield. You think about the players that we've got in there: Rio Hatate, Paulo Bernardo, Arne Engels, Luke McCowan, Callum McGregor. Really, really stacked in there. And do you know what the thing is? I think that Brendan Rodgers will continuously look to improve that. You know, if there's an opportunity or a player out there that we could bring in to just, you know, really tie down that position even more so with strength, I think that Brendan Rodgers will take that. And I don't know, man. I think there's more to come. I really do, and that might sound daft to say considering how good it is right now, but there is obviously the potential that players could move on and could go elsewhere. But you look at the midfield, every single player who played in the centre mid positions today for Celtic, oh my God. Maybe not necessarily having a fantastic game today, but they have offered us fantastic games over it's nuts. It's nuts. What a day to be a Celtic fan. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Brian. Hail for Vietnam. Just woke up, saw their score. They are too funny, man. We were poor in the first half, but the second half we looked more like ourselves. Yeah, I think it just took us a little while to get going into the game and to find our rhythm, to find our groove in the game. But sometimes it has to happen, and I think, you know, with all due respect to Motherwell, they've had an up and down season, but when you look at coming into today, they hadn't lost in three. I think they were starting to find a way to score more goals, and they've always been a side who physically give us a game. It was always going to be difficult, but we looked a lot better in the second half, and that's the kind of form you want to find going into a derby. And I don't care if it takes you 45 or 5 minutes to find that. If you find that before a derby game, that's all that matters. Adam, you too. I hope you, the missus, and the wee man had a fantastic Christmas, a first Christmas with a child. It's very special. God bless. I remember we were not so sure with O'Reilly for a wee while, so give Engels time in a pre-season training with Rodgers. Yep. I mean, I've been banging on about that here on this channel, especially so far all season. You know, Engels needs that time that we have to give players. Matt O'Reilly, I remember him in his first full season. He signed in the January, looked great, and then he kind of dipped off for a bit. Remember that full season under Ange's second season, he sort of started dipping a wee bit, and players are going, O'Reilly's not good enough. And then the next thing you know, he's becoming Celtic's first £30 million export. You know, that's what we need to learn from. We need to learn from those mistakes and those quick judgments. They hold us back, I think, and that's what we need to do with Engels. A good performance today, a performance that fills me with a lot of confidence. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I've noticed, I really do. Kansas City Chiefs will win the Super Bowl. No, the Philadelphia Eagles will win the Super Bowl. Wrestling, American football, you'll be watching Rounders next. Nah, I'm not a baseball man / Rounders man. It's not for me. But I've always liked the NFL, and I've not wrestling. I've liked since I was a guy. Since I was a wee guy. Since I was a guy. That doesn't sound right. Spot on about Ida, by the way. Thought he had a really good game. Yeah, I think in terms of a striker's performance, I'm going to have to skip down the chat a wee bit here. And if you really want me to answer something, just feel free to spam it in. But Aidan, I agree. I think that if you look at a striker's performance this evening, if you can't score a goal as a striker, everything else you do in the game has to matter. And I think a lot of what he'd have done tonight did matter. I think he was very, very influential in the game. I thought that he looked good on the dribble, which I think has been sort of a rarity for him at times. I don't think he's necessarily been fantastic on the dribble when he goes forward with the ball, but I thought he was really, really good tonight with it. Just a lot of what his performance was tonight, I was really pleased with it. I'm a huge Adamida fan. You all know that by now, and I'll probably, you know, bum him up at any opportunity. But I was really happy with what I seen with Ida, and right now I think he's making a real case for being the guy that starts. I think even if he's not scoring goals, the way he gets to involve other people in the game, I think is really, really important. So yeah, maybe I'm just saying that because I'm drunk. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm drunk. Am I drunk? Maybe I am. I don't know. Let's see, -12 in Govan tonight, David. That's true. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's fucking brilliant. Brilliant. I love it. Wee fella got a hoopie from my dad and he loves it. He's one of us. Another Celtic fan. Get him a YouTube channel as soon as... Not a YouTube account, I should say. Get him subscribed. Let's get the subscribe account up, Adam. But I love that. Fantastic. Next FM should be in maybe even tomorrow, actually. I'll let you know. I'll put it in the chat. It'll be either tomorrow or Saturday. One of the two. Ida was terrible today. No, he wasn't. I don't think he was. Was he? Did people think he was terrible? I see people saying he was good. See people saying he's terrible. Seems to be a split opinion in here. I thought he had a good game, to be honest. I didn't complain about him once. I didn't complain about Kyogo when he came on the park either for his let loose on it, you know. But that's what it is. Scales, it's been unreal this season. Solid again today, and only 4 goals conceded. Not to mention, he's got 6 goals and assists this season as a bonus. Yeah, thought it was great today. Liam Scales, must be said. I think that what's to be admired most about Liam Scales this season is the contribution that he's having, even with those limited minutes, even with the lesser minutes than what we seen of him last year. Last year, he was Celtic's solidified and certified centre-back partner to Cameron Carter-Vickers. And to lose that, but also contribute to the way that he still is absolutely tremendous. And listen, he's lost it for a reason. He's lost it because Austin Trusty is a really, really good player. And ultimately, I think, and I mean it with all due respect to Liam, who has been fantastic, I think that Trusty is just generally a better player. But, you know, he's still got so much to add to this team. He's still got so much to contribute. And he's been great for the minutes that he's had this year. He's been absolutely great. Scales threats from corners is genuinely a joke. Can't believe I'm actually hopeful when we get a corner now. It's probably the best in the team at it, to be fair. And that's one of the reasons that sometimes I would rather see Scales starting or be in the park first, because he can actually score from a corner kick, which we don't get all that often. Poor Casper, this made me chuckle. Poor Casper, he did the magazine today. Spamming it in because I really want you to answer it, mate. First, KT and Maida on the left must be making Tavernier shit the bed. Same as the idea of Jota and AJ on the right. Well, I'm not going to get my hopes up too high, Mark. I don't want to be, you know, what I'll always say is expect disappointment and you'll never be disappointed. So I'm not getting my hopes up too high. Listen, put it this way, I don't see Jota returning to Celtic ever. And I don't mean to be heartbreaking when I say that. KT, on the other hand, I'm crossing every finger. I'm crossing every toe. And I'm hoping that we do see him back here in January. But, well, listen, we won't get too deep. We won't get too deep into it. Thought Kyogo was good when he came on. Did a wee mid-air back heel thing that was gorgeous. I've not got to watch the highlights back. So this mid-air back heel thing that you're on about, I need to remind myself. Sports scene's not been on yet. Thank you to Dan for the $5. Dan, it is appreciated. Merry Christmas, mate. God bless and thank you. Did anything particularly interesting happen in Paisley today? I don't know. Paisley. What would have happened in Paisley today? Jerry Rafferty tributes. You know, a wee bit of Baker Street. Paisley Pie Company sold a good few pies this probably would have been a few good events in the city centre. Apart from that, oh wait, Rangers got pumped. Thank you, Dan, for the donation. I do appreciate it very much. Let's see, thought Ralston was brilliant today. And then followed by Ralston at times still worries me. It seems to lack consistency. I love that. That's why I love doing these streams, because I come in here with a set opinion on players, and then you get somebody that agrees with you and somebody that's just way off. Or not to say way off, but way different. You know, it's always quite funny. This time last year, we had just lost 2 games in a row. We were looking at serious trouble. Brendan's not been given enough credit for the job that he's done in 2024. Listen, you know me. I'll give Brendan Rodgers every bit of credit that he deserves, and I give him credit constantly. So don't look at me as a guilty party for not giving Brendan Rodgers perhaps the credit that he deserves. But yeah, you're right. You think of I remember this time last year just being fresh back off Tenerife. I got back from Tenerife in December, and we were in a state, man. We were in a terrible state, bar the fact that we'd finally won a Champions League game at Celtic Park. And to be where we are now, 12 points clear of Rangers, doing well on a European level, League Cup winners, it is night and day. And it's been fantastic. It's all down to Brendan Rodgers. You know, he is the most responsible party for where we are right now. And I think that everybody deserves a slice of credit. I think that the board I don't say it, easily. I say it reluctantly. The board deserve a lot of credit for the backing that they've given the manager. The squad, of course, deserve a huge amount of credit for the football that they have played and for the efforts that they've applied. The fans deserve the credit for what they bring to Celtic Park and follow everywhere Celtic. But Brendan Rodgers, who was at this point last year a man under severe pressure from some of his own support for the football we were playing, for the way that we were in, to be where we are, I think he deserves a huge amount of credit. And, as I said, he'll never be short of it in this channel. As Brendan Rodgers' biggest fan, he'll never be short of it. But yeah, since Motherwell away in February, we've just been a different animal. And I 100% I agree with that. I do. On that note, I'm gonna wrap up there. I'm pretty shattered, to be quite honest. I know it's just short of the half-hour mark we usually go. Yes, I'm a Rodgers simp, Donny. You know that. And I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface of where we should be. Celtic are 12 clear, and it's funny because just before we go away, here's my closing monologue. Celtic were a team who were told last week only get places through cheating, and that we were on the brink of a special Rangers being back. A Phil come on who was, up for the sack, but then the man to do the job, and now up for the sack again. Apparently Celtic just weren't good enough, and we're going to get caught. So now we'd be 12 points clear. I think it's pretty miraculous, and through the aid of the SFA, we find ourselves where we are, apparently. Forget all of that. Ignore all of that. Glasgow Celtic are on top. 4-0 winners today, and we are the kings of this country. 119 major honours. Don't forget it. Enjoy it. And enjoy your Christmas period. I will be on this channel tomorrow to deep dive a bit more into things. There will be another live stream over the coming days as well, when I'm a wee bit more sober, to tell the truth to you. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. It has been an absolute pleasure. 12 clear. Remember that. 12 clear. See you all next time.